We have good news in South Africa regarding the VAT increase that was planned to take place at the beginning of May 2025. So the news just came through on the 24th of April 2025, which is today. So what is happening? The National Treasury announced that Finance Minister Enoch Gogongwane will soon implement measures to reverse South Africa's planned 0.5% point VAT increase. The value-added tax or VAT increase was set to kick in on the 1st of May 2025. However, it faced fierce resistance, including legal cases from the DA and EFF. They will propose to maintain the VAT rate at 15% from 1 May 2025 instead of the proposed increase to VAT announced in the budget in March. The increase to forgo the increase follows extensive consultation with political parties and careful consideration of the recommendation of the Parliamentary Committee. By not increasing VAT, estimated government revenue will fall short by around 75 billion over the medium term. This action is needed to propose expenditure adjustment to cover the shortfall in the revenue in the 2025 budget. Revenue loss does not Parliament will be requested to adjust expenditure to ensure that the revenue loss does not harm South Africa's fiscal sustainability. Simple put, the additional food item, which was set to be zero rated, will now remain exposed to the current 15% VAT. To offset the unavoidable expenditure adjustment, an additional revenue collected by SARS may be considered for this purpose going forward, the National Treasury said. The Minister of Finance expects to introduce a revised or revision of the appropriate bill and division of revenue within the next few weeks. So basically, if we look at what is happening here, or to summarize, we're going to reduce, we're not going to be reducing the VAT, but we'll keep it at 15% where it was. So what will happen? Then there will be a plan to use the money collected by SARS to cover some of the expenditure that was going to be covered by 0.5%. And then there will be a revision of appropriate bill and a division of revenue so as to ensure that the expenditure of South Africa is still covered in the way they should. Then let us see what are the arguments in court regarding this VAT background. The DA is taking legal action to prevent what is believed to be an unjustified burden on already struggling South African households. It said in the statement before the hearing. The party contends that the increase will further escalate the cost of living, disproportionately affecting the poor and the vulnerable. States collected nearly 10 billion more in taxes than expected, which means it does not need to increase the value-added tax. Let's see what's the Fed arguments. By the end of March 2025, SARS have collected a record gross amount of 2.303 trillion, representing a 6.9% year-on-year growth. SARS paid a refund of 447.7 billion to taxpayers, which brought the collected net amount of 1.855 trillion. This is almost 8.8 billion higher than the revised estimate and the 114 billion more than last year's 1.741 trillion. Half percent point increase will raise around 10 billion. That means the state has the money. We don't need that increase, right? So basically, if we see what is happening here, after 0.5% VAT increase was announced, DA and EFF, they went to court and they put forward what they believe should be done for the country. That is not to raise the VAT. And they've put the point in terms of why they believe the VAT should not be raised. And the basis is SARS collected more money in the current year. So why aren't we using that money instead of increasing the VAT? So they believe the state has sufficient money to cover the expenditure, provided the budget is done accordingly. So there will be a revision of budget to remove the 0.5% that was initially considered or taken into account, which is great news for the South Africa as a whole. Thank you for listening to my YouTube channel. Can you please subscribe, like, and also invite other people to join us in this community? Thank you. Bye.